I think another physical benefit is that I have way more energy than before. You know, despite the fact that I now also do more, right? Like I work out, I I I do more things, and still I have much more energy. You know.
David, hi man, welcome to our client transformation series. Good to have you on our interview, man, which is amazing. And this we're just going to run through, just some general questions. Hopefully, your story is inspiring others to essentially join the protocol and really focus on like a healthier lifestyle more than just like a quick fix and the transformation. We want everyone on a great lifestyle journey. And your journey so far has been very inspiring. You've been locked in the full way, and I know your transformation has been epic as well. So it's great to share that to the audience, and I'm excited for it, man. So I appreciate you coming on, David, which is amazing. So firstly, man, just explain where you're from, introduce yourself, where you're living, and what do you do for work? That'd be awesome.
Awesome. Hey, Louis, and thanks for having me. So my name is David. I'm originally from Sweden, and I've been living in London for the last, I think, 3 to 4 years, and I work in finance. And I've been part of the Superhuman program for 9 months now. So I started in January earlier this year.
Just taking it back from there, then, David, with let's say 9 months ago from now. So before starting the superhuman diet, before following the single ingredient foods, what was your life like before? How was you feeling? How was your physique? And just explain a little bit about before that time.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, it wasn't great before that. But so I think before the Superhuman program, so let's say last year, I didn't really take care of myself. I didn't work out. I ate, processed garbage food. I was overweight. I was drinking quite frequently.
Yeah.
So wasn't in the best of places. But now, 9 months later, I've made a huge transformation in terms of fitness and health. I eat single ingredient food, home cooked. I work out many times per week, sometimes even multiple times per day. And I think health and fitness is much more a central thing in my life nowadays.
Amazing, amazing, man. And your transformation is very inspiring because like a lot of dudes are struggling to bring down that body fat percentage as well. And you was 20% plus in terms of your body fat percentage. Now you're between 9 to 11%. So just explain a bit more about like the fat loss as well and what you've seen through physically and mentally through the transformation as well, how you feel and through your actual transformation, which is absolutely incredible, man.
Yeah, sure. So I mean, starting with the physical benefits, as you said, I've lost a bunch of weight. I probably lost, I think, 15 kilos now, starting at 83. I'm now at 67. And in terms of body fat, I probably started at around, probably above 25%. And as you said, I'm now probably around 10% ish. So have removed 15 or so percentage points of body fat. So super happy with that. And I think another physical benefit is that I have way more energy than before. Despite the fact that I now also do more, right? Like I work out, I do more things, and still I have much more energy. I want to be active from morning to late night. So that's a huge benefit. Previously, I did less, but still I needed naps over the weekends, etc. So much more energy. In terms of mental benefits, I would say I'm much more happy and content now with life than I previously was. And I think, I think happiness really starts with yourself, right? Being proud and sort of content with yourself does a lot to your mental health. And also, I would say I'm much more excited about life in general now than I was previously.
Wow.
You know, in other areas of life, not only health and fitness. So I think, you know, health and fitness really sets a foundation for other areas in your life.
Yeah, I'm totally with you on that, man. I'm totally with you on that. I agree. If you focus on your fitness, I'm a strong believer of you get yourself into your best physical shape, mental shape, then that will help in many areas of your life. If you really focus on yourself, which you've done now
100%.
tremendously, which is now, yeah, showing that you want to improve other areas. So that's freaking awesome, mate. Really, really good to hear that. So talk to me through, David, like a full day. Let's just go through a full day of eating of you now. Roughly at the moment, what you would typically eat and sort of meal timings at the moment. That'd be great.
And I could talk a few hours about this. No, but jokes aside, like nutrition has, you know, health and fitness has become definitely like a hobby of mine, I would say. But, you know, nutrition as well. I love, you know, thinking about planning meals. And I also really enjoy sort of buying good groceries, whether that's from Whole Foods or if that's from you know, a local farm here in the UK. But answering your question, how does a normal day look for me in terms of nutrition and in terms of food? So usually I eat 3 meals, so breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I eat a lot of animal-based food. So a lot of beef, you know, minced beef, steaks, ribeye steaks I love. What else? I occasionally also eat, you know, fish, seafood, and chicken. But beef is sort of my go-to protein source. I also eat a lot of eggs, a lot of boiled eggs. I eat a lot of sort of high quality carbs. So, you know, fruits.
Good.
I eat, you know, for dinner, I can eat potato, sweet potato,
Yes.
butternut squash, rice.
Yes.
What else do I eat? Yeah, I also eat a lot of Greek yogurt and skyr. So I mean, to summarize,
are you on any sourdough? Sometimes.
Yeah. Sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah.
But to sort of summarize per meal, like how a normal day would look like. So in the morning, I typically have 6 eggs. So I mean, I like to keep it simple. So 6 boiled eggs in the morning. For lunch, I have 2 to 250 grams of lean minced beef, together with some mixed salad. So, you know, some lettuce, cabbage, tomatoes, cucumber, maybe some olives. And then as a dessert to that lunch, I have 150 grams of low-fat Greek yogurt, together with some nice fruits. So it could be, you know, mango, banana, etc. And then for my final meal, I have then the second half of that package of lean minced beef. And together with that, I have some starchy carbs. So potatoes, rice, etc. And also some mixed salad. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And then, you know, if I feel like it, I can have some snacks throughout the day, you know, some fruits, etc.
Yeah, you certainly got it locked in, David. It's good to hear, man. Wicked. Yeah, so just going over as well, David, more sustainability, right? Because a lot of people may think it's unsustainable, even when traveling and running through this aspect, because it has to, what we want for everyone that essentially join us is it a long-term aspect for them. We don't just want them on a 12-week fix and then they go back to old eating habits, back to just their original food plan. We want this a sustainable aspect. How would you relate that? Would you say it's quite sustainable? Is it quite easy to fit it in when traveling, and sticking to the single ingredient foods, following the protocol? How would that work around long-term sustainability?
I mean, a very good question, and I would say it's definitely sustainable. I mean, I would say that you know, the diet focusing on you know, animal-based whole foods is so like enjoyable. It's more enjoyable than a burden, right? I don't feel limited in any way, and for that reason, I think it's very sustainable over time. And I think this is a question you many times get from people on Instagram. I think, yeah, you know, do you ever have cheat days?
Yeah.
And you say no, like every meal is a cheat meal.
Yes.
And you know, that's something that I can sort of echo, because you know, even though the superhuman diet sort of consists on quite, you know, a limited number of groceries at the end of the day.
Yes.
You know, simple single ingredient groceries, but you can compose a lot of different meals within the scope of the diet. So for example, during the weeks, I like to keep it simple, you know, boiled eggs, like fried minced beef. That's simple, right? Whereas over the weekends, I like to experiment a little. You know, I might skip a meal fast to sort of enable me to have a massive dinner.
Yeah.
Where I have, you know,
I've
400 or 500.
seen you in the group chats on that. Yeah.
Yeah. And you know, people might look at those meals and think like, how the fuck is this guy on a deficit, you know? Because I might eat 400-500 grams of ribeye steak, you know, fried in butter, together with 400-500 grams of air fried potatoes. And you know, in my view, that's a good cheat meal, and that's within the scope of the diet. And I enable that by skipping another meal and sort of reallocating the calories to that sort of cheat meal or feast, or whatever you want to call it, right? So there's a lot of levers you can pull to stay within the boundaries of the program, but still sort of experiment and give you some treats.
Amazing. Awesome.
And also, you know, I'm not perfect. Like occasionally, I might go for events, you know, with work. I might go out for dinner with my girlfriend. I might go for a few days of holiday. But it's just
You revert
sort
back.
of,
You revert back to.
I always revert back to my core diet. But I also, even when I go off plan, I stick to the principles. You know, I don't go overboard. I keep things in moderation.
Good.
And even then, you know, I can offset things like that with additional output by fasting and skipping certain meals. So, you know, I always stick to the principles.
Amazing. And that's something we take on, as well as some people ask, do we have to be as strict as essentially myself? And we say we're not expecting every client to be as strict as me on the protocol. But if you can at least hit 80 to 90% across the week, or even, yeah, if you wanted to go on holiday twice a year and then come back to the protocol, that's what we want. We don't want people going back to their old habits. Maybe, yeah, for a holiday, you want some margaritas, you want some pina coladas, that's great. But you revert back to it, that's what we want, because we know then you can get back to your transformation and live the healthy lifestyle. So
Yeah.
That's good to hear, man, in terms of your honesty. So that's great, dude. That's great.
Yeah, and I mean, sort of just following up on that, I would also say that it's in my interest to stay as strict as possible and to sort of limit going off plan, because I have certain goals and objectives with my health and fitness, with the diet, etc. And whenever I go off plan, I lose some time, right? So it's definitely in my interest to stay on track.
Good man. Awesome.
Yeah.
And so, David, just now going into a bit more into the program and the support throughout. So, how has that been essentially since you've been onboarded? How has the support been throughout the program and for us helping you achieve the transformation? You having full clarity every week. How has that been?
Again, a very good question. So maybe just taking one step back, before joining this program, I have to be honest, I was a little bit skeptical about coaching in general and online coaching in particular. I was very, very, very skeptical about it, but I'm very positively surprised. Like I received so much support from day one, not only from yourself and the other coaches that have been dedicated to me, but also from this community that you gave me access to, and that you give other candidates access to. So having a personal trainer, that's one component of the program, right? And that's great.
Yeah.
And I really enjoy how you have these like daily check-ins, but then a bigger weekly check-in which you get reviewed by the personal trainer, and you get feedback. You might get tips and advice based on that check-in.
Mm-hmm.
So that's awesome. It's so, like, the collaboration is so close that and seamless that you don't even feel that it's online.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that part of the program a lot, like having a personal trainer and weekly check-ins with feedback and review and feedback. Awesome. The other component of the program that I also really like is this social community that you invite to.
Mm-hmm.
So just to provide some context, you get to take part in this social community via an app, and where you can freely chat with other members of the program. And I think it's so nice to sort of see how other people are getting on. You can learn from their mistakes, from their you can get inspired from their achievements. And you can just casually follow their journey and sort of exchange tips and advice, which I think is awesome.
Amazing. And yeah, in terms of, I know you mentioned in the community, David, as well, as before you were spending, in terms of finances, you said you were spending a lot more when it comes to dining out, potentially on junk food. Now you've mentioned you're happy buying the whole foods and you've saved potentially, or maybe a similar aspect, but you're actually now fueling the body. You're not wasting it on junk or sweets. Or so in terms of how has it been for you there as well?
So to a previous question, that I was sort of a little bit hesitant joining this program, and obviously the cost of the program was one parameter that I considered, right? But now looking back, the savings that I do on a monthly basis greatly exceeds the cost of the program. Like I've saved so much money over these 9 months of taking part in the program. So that was a little bit surprising, right? Like you pay to be a member of this program, but it actually gives you like, in addition to health and fitness, it actually gives you a monetary benefit as well, because being locked in, you know, you buy food, home cooked food, you avoid the fast food garbage, you might avoid going out partying. So I've done a lot of savings on the back of this program. And I think adding to that, you know, many people live with the assumption that that eating well is more costly than the alternative. That's completely false, right? That's complete bullshit. I mean, I buy food from the best sources. Like I go to Whole Foods in the UK, which is, I mean, I shouldn't lie, it is expensive, and I order, you know, meat and stuff from local farms. It's not cheap either, but compared to the alternatives, you know, buying breakfast from cafes in the morning, you know, go out eating lunch, go out eating dinner, it's much cheaper than eating out. So having that excuse yeah, doesn't work.
Yeah, I mentioned with the partying lifestyle. So if people are going clubbing, they could spend 100, 200 pounds over in a night, and that could do 1 to 2, 3 weeks worth of shopping. So yeah, the saving market is there. I think people were buying stuff maybe without realizing, and then their food bill might potentially increase, but they don't realize the savings that they're saving on from partying, or when they focus on the body transformation, when they're focusing on themselves there. So yeah, the saving aspects is good to hear, man. And I'm glad you've overall made a savings, but for the healthier aspects, which is awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think yeah, just adding to that, I think, you know, the discipline that you build throughout this program, like first of all, you build discipline through these habits and these routines, but you also sort of build this, you know, you want to improve, right? You see the improvement throughout the program, and you see the benefits of you know, what you can achieve when you take care of yourself, and when you are disciplined, and you sort of want to do that in all other areas of your life, not only health and fitness. So I mean, that also goes back to the finances, right? Since you take good decisions for your health and for your fitness, you sort of want to make good decisions throughout your life. I'm not sure if that makes sense or not, but hopefully.
It makes sense. It makes sense.
Yeah.
I can totally relate there, and I can totally agree. Being locked in on a program is, for me, even the greatest thing, because I take breaks as well in terms of being on a program. If I'm going, you know, maybe sub 10%, but I feel best when I'm really locked in on the program. The workouts, the cardio, the steps, everything just dialed in. The meal timings.
Yeah.
That's for me the most sustainable and happiest aspect I am as well, when I'm fully locked in. Yeah.
Totally. I'm actually just come back from a few summer holidays, and I really look forward now to just have, you know, 3-4 months ahead of Christmas, nothing booked, no trips, nothing, just training, you know, nutrition, being locked in. Like I feel really, you know, comfortable and calm knowing that there will be no distractions now going forward. So yeah, totally agree.
Awesome. Routine for me, yeah, is key. I love that. But yeah, you're on the same path, which is great, man. So David, okay, so this is quite a big one for people that are sitting on the fence about joining the Superhuman Protocol, joining the Superhuman program. What advice would you give someone sitting on the fence to join and actually reach out and ask for the help and support, because that can be an aspect of people, yeah, not wanting to join.
Good question again. I would say, yeah, I mean, going back to what I said earlier, I was hesitant before joining for many different reasons. Finances was one reason. I was doubtful about coaching and online coaching as well. But I think, you know, I would definitely highly encourage people who are hesitant to join the program and reap the benefits. So, you know, I have a history of training. You know, I played ice hockey back in the days for many years. I've been working out for a long time. So, you know, even though I considered myself, you know, experienced when it came to training, I've learned so many things over this program, and it's so beneficial to have a coach by your side who shares the same, who's incentivized for you to succeed, right? Because I mean, you guys are judged based on our performance.
Yeah.
I mean, that's basically how you get clients. You get clients by showing your portfolio of transformations.
Yeah.
So, you know, what I can tell to people who are doubtful is, you know, join, try 12 months, and I promise you, sorry, 12 weeks. I mean, 12 months too doesn't hurt, but try 12 weeks. I can promise you that you will be surprised by the level of support from the coaches, from the community, and you will also be surprised by how enjoyable the journey is and how exciting it is to really focus on yourself and self-development. And I can also sort of assure you that you will see a lot of physical benefits over those 12 years. You know, energy-wise, weight-wise. So you will definitely see positive development over the course of 12 weeks. And after those 12 weeks, I would be surprised if you wouldn't like to extend for another I don't know, a few months. So I could definitely encourage you to do it. And I think a common theme that I see across the community is that the only regret people have is that they didn't do it earlier.
Yeah, that's it, man. Amazing. Awesome, David. Yeah, appreciate that a lot, man. And thanks for sharing your journey. All is absolutely amazing. I'm going to leave your results on the screen as well, somewhere there, which is super great. And yeah, 15 kilos going through your transformation is mind-blowing, man. And yeah, you've leveled up and officially superhuman body and health, man. So yeah.
But I'm not done yet either.
You're still going. You're still going.
I'm still going. Yes.
Freaking awesome. Awesome, man.